Hello and welcome to Digital Goulash. My name is Chucky and today we're going to take Photoshop Elements 10. We're going to create this great looking professional photograph that's in black and white with all these really nice high key features in it. Now why would we want to do that? Well, the first thing is if you look at this photo, there's a bit of a background here that we kind of want to eliminate. And by brightening this thing up in certain ways, we can kind of minimize the distraction that the back has. The next thing is that a lot of the new photographers are using this high key professional model looking effect to kind of make the person stand out, make their eyes really pop out. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the original photograph looks like. If I hold my Alt or Option key down and click on the visibility layer, it turns all the other layers off and we can actually see the background. Now, this is a great photograph by Frank Kovalchek. I'm using it under the Creative Commons license under Flickr over there, and I want to thank him for the use of his photograph. Now I'm going to hold the Alt or Option key down and I'm going to put all that back there, and as you can see, it's this really nice looking professional photograph now. It's black and white, the eyes pop there. Let's go ahead and see how we do that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to Edit and Revert. I'm going to take this back down to the original photograph again. Now the first thing that I like to do, and of course most of the other instructors on YouTube, they like to do the Command J so that we don't mess around with the original background there. Plus it's locked right there and we don't want to unlock it. So this particular photo right here, we are going to use something that's in Photoshop, the full version, but you can't get to it or you haven't been able to get to it in Photoshop Elements. Now under the Enhance key, we have the adjust color over here, and we have adjust color curves. Now in Photoshop we have curves, and that's a great tool, and they've added this adjust color curves for us over here. And what we want to do here is we want to brighten this up, and we want to have a nice arc here, and it's going to give it a smooth brightening. Not the same as just going over to your brightness command and brightening everything the same. We only want to brighten the center or the mid-tones, which are the facial tones right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to increase midtones right there, and as you can see it kind of makes a nice glow there already, and then I'm going to adjust these so it has a nice arc here. So the first thing I'm going to do is bump up the adjust highlights. I'm going to bump that way up there, and then I'm going to take the midtone brightness and I'm going to bump that way up there. Now the midtone contrast, I want to take that back down just a tiny bit so that we have this nice arc going there, and then we're going to take the shadows and then we're going to bump the shadows up. And so there we have it, kind of have a nice arc that we're starting over here. Maybe we can bump this one up just a little bit. So now we have this nice glow that's starting to happen right there. Once we have this particular one, what we want to do is we want to hit Command J one more time. This is another feature that's in Photoshop that's not in Photoshop Elements unless you jump into the different menus here, and that's by going to the Advanced and you go to Convert to Black and White. In the full version of Photoshop we have the red, green, and blue channels, and in Photoshop Elements we get to them by going to Convert to Black and White. Now we have all these different ones right there. The one that I want to start with is Urban Snapshot, because that kind of bumps the green and blue up automatically and it takes the contrast down and leaves it at 0. So I'm going to bump the red just a little bit so that it starts to brighten that up. Now you notice that we're starting to lose a little bit of the detail, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and select OK there, and so now we have this nice one right here. Now I'm going to hit Command J one more time, and it's going to give us another one of these black and white layers. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to change the blending mode of the top one. We're going to go to linear dodge on that particular one. Now as you can see right away we're starting to lose too much detail. So you guessed it, we take our opacity and we drive that opacity down into the 30-some area right there. Now underneath that we have this layer, and what we're going to do with that one is we're going to change that to screen, which is going to kind of brighten up some of the other areas right there and kind of superimpose it on top of these two color photos. Now that's a little bit much as well, so we're going to take that opacity down and we're going to take that back down into the 40s somewhere, and as you can see that's a really pretty photo there, and it minimizes some of this background and really concentrates on the eyes. This works especially well if you have people with darker color eyes. It's really great. Let's go ahead and hold the Alt or Option key and click on that background layer there. You can see there's our original. Hold it down again, click it one more time, and then there is our updated one. Now if you notice mine was black and white, if we want to do that, we add, you go to the very top layer and then we add the black and white cookie tool, which is the adjustment layer. We're going to take the hue and saturation adjustment layer and we're just going to drag the saturation down to about -90. Take all that color out of there, and as you can see, here we have it. Now if you want to do something that's kind of nice, we can go back and we can go click on layer 1 and we can add a little bit of unsharp mask to that. Actually, instead of the filter, it's under filter under the regular version of Photoshop, but under Photoshop Elements it's actually under enhance. Go to unsharp mask there. I do it at about 100%, radius of 1.4, and select OK. And there we have it. That kind of sharpened that up a little bit. So there you have it, taking a photograph, hold the Alt or Option key down, from a standard portrait that is in color that might have some nice detail to it, and then going to a nice high key professional looking black and white photo. And this is Chucky. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my videos, give me a thumbs up, a like, and share my videos with others. Cheers!